You already know, man. It's Deion Dawkins, and you listening to the Real Deal Sports Show on the Beat 105.5.
Yes, you are. The Beat 105.5. You getting it in. Thank you, Deion Dawkins, leader of the Buffalo Bills. We're doing our thing every week right here from 8 to 9 a.m. every Saturday morning, talking sports of all sorts on Real Deal Sports Show. And we coming to you live from the Rock Palm Broker Studios like we do each week. Thank to the crew, Sammy and his entire staff and fantastic crew over there at Rock Palm Brokers. Deal or no deal. That's the real deal right now. Deal or no deal. Go on over there. He got a hot summer sale. You think it's hot and humid outside right now in the Rock? Stop by Rock Palm Brokers. It's even hotter inside. And he even has the outside sale going on in the back. Check out the outdoors with the nice patio and area where you can sit and look at your item and make that decision on that deal or no deal. And here we have J-GILLZ. Welcome. It's another sports week. J-GILLZ back with us as always, co-host of Real Deal Sports Show. How you doing this morning?
Oh, good morning, Radney. Good morning, BacSpin. Good morning to the Beat family. Y'all already know what's going down. We got the WNBA back in action. Caitlin Clark dropping buckets. Angel Reese doing her thing. You know what I mean? We got fresh off the Olympics, fresh off the celebrity softball tournament. You know, going straight into the NFL preseason games this weekend. It's so many things to talk about in sports. It's going down, y'all. It's about to be that fall time. And we already know when it's fall time, it's time to talk sports of all sorts right here on the Real Deal Sports Show.
That's right, and we'll have plenty of Bills conversation as we go along in this preseason. I want to get a quick talk in real quick about Matt Milano tearing his bicep. The guy has always been a nice dude. He's built like a bodybuilder. I'm not surprised he tore his bicep. This guy is built. He's too tight for football. He's built. If you see him, you think he's a bodybuilder, not a football player, because he's just built up. He's bulked up, too bulky for NFL play. He's been fortunate. You notice he's always had calf strains, always something to do with his tissues and his muscle strains and things like that, tissue and core, all of that muscular, because he's too damn big. He's just too built for to play professional football at this level. And unfortunately, he had a catastrophic injury over in London, England, on that defective turf. They had a carpet out there instead of playing on the grass soccer field that the soccer team wouldn't allow the football people to use. So they had to put a carpet down. And you can see how the shoes and stuff was sticking to that carpet. Several players were injured in that game, but the worst one was when Matt Milano was rolled up on. Leg looked like it was broken in a couple of places. Ligament damage possibly. He was great to get back to where he is right now, to get himself back going, which was great to have him come back this past football season. But now tearing the bicep. Hey, J-GILLZ, I think it's time to say goodbye to Matt Milano. I would after this season, Matt Milano will be one of my first cuts for next season. Know when to say when. That's Sean McDermott's fault and Brandon Beane. They hold on to guys way too long. You got to do the Bill Belichick mode. I would have maybe got rid of them this season. I would say save that big contract, go with the young boys, get your veteran guys in. You brought in a Deion Jones from the Atlanta Falcons, been around 8 years. Why not cut Matt Milano? You should have cut him. Save that big, huge contract. He deserved the contract. He definitely deserved every penny he got as a Buffalo Bill. Matt Milano was one of the best players. Matter of fact, he's one of the top players in the top 100. He's one of the few Buffalo Bills you have on that roster. So on that list. But know when to say when. You might have been able to. You should have cut him before this season. I damn sure would cut Matt Milano next season and let him go somewhere else and heal up and play. And hopefully he can come back and play at the level that he was playing as a Buffalo Bill. But I get rid of that contract. Get me some young boys in there at linebacker. See if Morrow can do something. Your draft pick, Dorian Williams. Hey, time to step it up, Dorian Williams. We're going to see. Stop overrunning the plays. Stay in your position. Stay in your lane, brother. Brother, stay in your lane. Let's see what he do with the Pittsburgh Steelers later tonight. Well, you can watch that game on local TV on some of the check your local listings for that game. It's a 7 p.m. start time. But Dorian Williams, stay in your lane. Nick Morrow, keep an eye on this guy, Shane Simons. Shane Simons came from, they just signed him a couple weeks ago. He's a rookie. I saw him at Notre Dame. He was a starting linebacker at Notre Dame a couple years ago. He left Notre Dame, went to the University of Pitt, went over to Pitt, and started right at Pitt. So Shane, and he's got that size. He's a little undersized, but hey, man, he's better than Terrell Bernard at that position because he's a little bit bulkier and heavier. Terrell Bernard's a nice guy, but Terrell got to be more of an outside linebacker. You got to get some thick guys. The Bills have never recovered since releasing and not re-signing Tremaine Edmonds, which was a move I cannot understand. I would have kept Tremaine Edmonds as our center, as our linebacker core at that time. I would have re-signed him. He came in with Josh Allen. To me, he played just as well as Josh Allen. You should have kept Tremaine Edmonds because you just don't get a 6'6", 245-pound long arm man. You saw what he did when he came in last week. I think he let Sean McDermott know. Yeah, Sean, this is what you let go, man, because he put a beat down on the. And how about Eric Washington? Hats off to the friend of the show, Eric Washington, former defensive coordinator of the Buffalo Bills, who is now the real defensive coordinator of the Chicago Bears. They put down a defensive front. Tremaine Edmonds was laying down the law against the Bills running backs last Saturday. I don't know if you saw that demolition on TV or if you're out there to see the carnage in person. The Bears put an ass whooping on the Buffalo Bills last Saturday. J-GILLZ, your comments.
They definitely did. But going back to the Matt Milano comments, right, man, just a silver lining for Bills Mafia, just a silver lining for Bills fans out there. We saw this last season, way early, week 3, London game, Jacksonville, Matt Milano goes down. And then we saw a guy like Terrell Bernard pick up right where he left off, had a phenomenal rest of the season. I'm talking about played just as good as Matt Milano did. So we've seen the Bills lose guys, lose starters, and still be able to bounce back. It's all about the schematics. You talked about Eric Washington. Got to give him credit where credit's due. Sean McDermott, last time I checked, Radman, is still the head coach of this team. He's still the guy putting that defense together, and that defensive scheme has been the same defensive scheme for the last 6-7 years. So he knows, Coach McDermott knows exactly who he needs at that space. So it's right now it's time for guys like Terrell Bernard to step up, guys like Nicholas Morrow to step up, guys like Balin Spector to step up in the place of Matt Milano. You got Deion Jones, obviously the veteran there, but I don't think that the Bills will have a problem, in regards to the schematics, finding somebody to play the role that Matt Milano played. You got a guy like Terrell Bernard, like I said, stepped in last year. I think he can be able to step in this year. It's still early enough to, Radman, we still have 93 men on the roster. League round. We still got to make cuts. Once these cuts start to happen and you start to see some people that you can start to pick and play with over there and get to the Bills, then you can start, really filling out that roster a little bit more. We've already talked about the Bills' depth. It isn't the best right now. Once those rosters go that's one of the amazing things that the NFL did, going from 90 to 53 in an instant. It used to always it trickle down, but that's just a huge, huge cap casualty for the whole league to really just pick who you need. So I think that the Bills still stand a chance for sure because of Sean McDermott, Coach McDermott, his scheme, and what we saw him do in the absence of Matt Milano last season. Still were able to beat the Dolphins at the end of the season and become the AFC East champions yet again. So I think there's still a silver lining for Buffalo Bills fans. It's more so heartbreaking because of the player. But we're talking about the field. I think they can bounce back. I'm happy it happened now, so they can really prepare for it for the season. But I still think the silver lining is we saw Coach McDermott do it before, and I think that he can get his troops together again to make sure this Bills defense is as good as it can be in a down season, for sure.
Absolutely. And you saw one other point. You're absolutely right. Matt Milano, good dude, cool cat. But it's unfortunate. That's the bad side of NFL. And you're seeing it across the league. A lot of teams lost guys this week in practice. This is practice. Because in football, you got to practice hard. You can't – it's not you got to hit. You guys are wearing pads. They're hitting now. It's almost like you playing a game every day in practice, unless it's just a little less physical. But it is physical out there. And you're seeing guys going down for a lot of different teams, guys out for the season on various squads throughout the National Football League. And that's why they have 90 guys like you said, per team in training camp, because you do have guys that get hurt and are out for the year. And you're looking the J.J. McCarthy, quarterback there from Michigan, playing with the Minnesota Vikings. He didn't even get hit. Yeah, I think he just was beat up from playing all those games at the University of Michigan. And there's something just went. He finished the game, and yet he's already been announced out for the year with the knee surgery. So guys are going down. The Bills, like you said, they went a year without him last year. You're going to have to go a second year without him this coming season. So the Bills, they got a chance now to pick up. I like Deion Jones. I like that Shane Simon cat, that young guy. You got to learn the system. Terrell Bernard still playing well. He's just very undersized at that position. I like him, but he's just too small to me to be in the middle, to be in the mic, to be in that middle position of that middle linebacker. But let's go to the off. Deion Dawkins said talked about Michael Jordan the other day, comparing Michael Jordan with Josh Allen. BacSpin. I'm wondering if we could get that up, that quick soundbite up. It's sponsored by the Good Life Collective, 155 Monroe Avenue, Rochester, New York, 585-360-2041. Open 7 days a week. It's a dispensary. It's a licensed, New York State licensed dispensary. So get your legal weed, help you out with all the medicinal services that they have there, but they do have the real weed there for you to help you, cool you out, calm you down, get you right, set you up for whatever your needs may be. Good Life Collective, 155 Monroe Avenue. Go over there and see the friendly people over there. They'll take care of you just like they take care of everybody else in the community as well. And this is Deion Dawkins.
There ain't no beef with the Jets. It's just some of the players that say things that they shouldn't be saying. Like, I don't think that, like, for example, right, if Michael Jordan is on the court and there's a player that has no name, nobody knows who he is. He should not be walking on the field and talking to Michael Jordan like Michael Jordan ain't who Michael Jordan is. Josh Allen is Michael Jordan. So you want to talk to MJ in front of me and I'm his personal protector? Oh, yeah, I'm the first one to throw hands.
There you have it. That's his Michael. What do you say to that, J-GILLZ?
Man, it's good to see. Honestly, it's good to see. I think Bills fans should be very happy. You need a guy like Deion Dawkins, top flight security, ready to ride, ready to go to bat for his quarterback. That's the type of energy that you need going into a season like this. You know what I mean? It was a divisive locker room last season, last couple of seasons. Stephon Diggs, pick a side. Mm-hmm. He picked a side. He picked Josh Allen, and it's time that he's going to step up and protect this guy. The analogy Michael Jordan, I get where he was going with it. But you don't never want to use the GOAT like that too much. But I get where he was going with it, and I think that this is a great sign for Bills fans. Deion got Josh's back, and that's how you need to start a season, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And Deion Dawkins, man, we could have him on almost every week, man, with his comments, man. He's going to be a great commentator after his playing days are over, for sure. And he's absolutely right. He's not saying Josh Allen's no Michael Jordan, but that's his Michael Jordan. That's his guy, and he's protecting him. And that's where you want to hear an offensive lineman talk about his people. He's protecting him and making sure that he's nobody just not going to step to him any old kind of way on the football field. They're not going to do it. Morris Thompson down in the Beltway, down in the D.C. area says, yeah, but don't trade off all your people that got you there last year. Well, Morris, you couldn't afford, because of the salary cap, they didn't want to trade them off. They had to get rid of them because they can't afford them. They can't afford the team they have right now. They're struggling to put people in place and pay people because of that Von Miller. Von Miller is really the reason they really jammed financially. He's getting way too much money for what he's putting in and giving out to the team. They decided to stick with him. They got to stick with him because the way they wrote the contract, it's all in Von. I don't know who Von Miller's attorney is, but we need to get him, man. He need to be our agent, man, because damn, that man wrote a hell of a contract for Von Miller at 32 years old. He wrote that guy a contract for that, where he gonna get almost $160 million from the Buffalo Bills. He gonna get majority of his money because the way that contract is written more in Von Miller's favor than it is in the Bills team. Don't let them fool you out there on other stations about, oh yeah, we can get rid of him next year. Yeah, you can get rid of him next year, but it's gonna be a heavy cap hit still to the Buffalo Bills. So you stuck with Von Miller because they got desperate and they went to say we're gonna win it all this year, where you could have went and got a lesser linebacker to come in there and play or edge rusher. And now you're getting guys in the draft like Javon Solomon. You could have went with journeyman the last few years. You got Dwayne Smoot, who looked pretty good in training camp from the Atlanta Falcons. He's been a very good edge rusher. The Bills got some guys in there. You didn't have to get desperate and give this one guy almost everything he wanted. That's why Morris Thompson down there in the D.C. area, Maryland, D.C. In the district, for sure. It wasn't that they had to trade them off because they couldn't afford to keep all the people mainly because of the Von Miller contract and then the escalating new contract for Josh Allen that kicked in too. So now Josh Allen's getting paid more money. But of course, Josh gave a little bit back. So did Von. They spread it. They didn't give it back. They're getting it on the back end. It spread it out. So you let Von Miller spread it out. So that means he's going to be on the books even longer because you allowed him this year to spread out some of that money, that ridiculous money that you're paying Von Miller. And how about Dawson Knox, man? Hey, I would have cut Dawson Knox. What the hell are you giving him a pay raise for? You paying him like he a top tight end, a top 4 tight end in the league. He ain't even near the top 10, man. Give me a break. Dawson Knox, who paid him? Somebody should have been fired just for making that mistake. Ralph Wilson wouldn't allow. That's what happens when your owner doesn't pay attention to what the general manager is doing. That he just okaying what they're doing. He ain't paying attention to the game because anybody watching the game with their own eyes is like, why are you paying this guy? Why is Dawson Knox even on the field, man? The guy drops too many passes. Oh, he's a good buddy of Josh Allen. Oh, that's cool. Oh, he's in the TV commercial. Hey, right now he's doing better selling cars on TV for that car dealership. Hey, y'all need to take some ads out right here on the Beat 105.5. That car dealership out here that's got their name all over the different buildings in here in Rochester. All of a sudden, y'all need to come on and drop a bag over here at 105.5 The Beat as well as a side note. But you got, hey man. Dawson Knox could be selling cars for those people right now because he's a hell of a car salesman. Right now, he's not a hell of a football player. Haven't seen it in the last 2 years, and you give him a bag. That's why Morris Thompson, why the Bills are in financial difficulty because of the bad decisions of Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott are paying the wrong guys the bag of money and letting Tremaine Edmonds, a young guy, 25 years old. You let somebody like Tremaine Edmonds go, and you still haven't found a middle linebacker to replace Tremaine Edmonds at this level. That's why the Bills having some of the problems that they're having. You don't see the high end, the Kansas City Chiefs, teams of that nature paying one guy or paying multiple guys. They finally paid. You see, they kept paying Chris Jones a little at a time. He's getting his big bag of money, and you see they going with average wide receivers and things of that nature. That's the way you have to do it in today's National Football League. J-GILLZ, you were at the Celebrity Softball Tournament last weekend. How did it go out there? Joe Lynch, friend of the show. Thank you, Joe Lynch, for bringing the Celebrity Softball Tournament to softball game, not tournament, softball game to Innovative Field last weekend. Can you give us a recap on it?
Man, it was just a great experience, a great vibe. You can tell just how the people of Rochester, the community, was impacted by that hugely. We have to give credit to Joe Lynch, Premier Talent Relations. He had a vision. He made it plain, and we were the beneficiaries of that whole thing. He raised a lot of money for the Golisano Children's Hospital. He had so many people in attendance. I'm telling you, before I got there pregame and the seats were filled in every section. We got to give him credit. He had his whole lineup of people, red team and blue team. These people included, Rochester guys like Tim Redding, Jerron Jones, John Wallace, Bills Hall of Famers, Andre Reed, Terrell Owens, another huge name, Lindsey Vaughn, so many people. And then after the game, they were lined up. They signed everything. They stayed to the very end, Rad, man. They signed everything from what I saw. And, we have to give credit to Joe Lynch and Talent Premier Relations because this is the type of stuff that we need in Rochester. We got another event coming in September, the HBCU game. These are the type of events that we need to get behind as a community. These are the type of events that we need to support. These are the type of events that we need for the people to come together. These events really do bridge the gap. It bridges gaps on race, gaps on finance. It just bridges gaps. And, the Beat being a community station, I was happy to go out there and support on behalf of the Beat 105.5 and, of course, the Real Deal Sports Show. So these are the type of things the community, I know you're listening, continue to support these events. Celebrity Softball game. We got the HBCU game coming up. These are the type of things that we need to do. Sports brings us together, so we need to just continue to come together. I encourage everybody to, stay locked in, stay tuned in, because there's so many more great events coming this year.
Yes, and let's hear from one of the celebrities you had, former All-Pro Hall of Famer Terrell Owens. You had a chance to speak with him. Can we hear BacSpin? If we could cue that one up for Terrell Owens, hear what he had to say.
It's your boy J-GILLZ, and we here right here with the legend, the Hall of Famer, Terrell Owens. Terrell, my bad, y'all. Y'all already know it's Terrell Owens in the building. Terrell, how you feeling, man?
I'm good, man. I got Andre Reed. He's on the opposite squad, so he's gonna get beat today. So,
Uh-oh.
It's gonna be a fun day, man. Just get out and play some softball. So, yeah.
Well, what does it mean to be back here in Rochester? Obviously, played for the Bills for a great career there in your time there, and did some training camp in Rochester. What does it mean to be back in Rochester?
So that means obviously I have fun memories of being here, and like I said, I was only here for a year, but the time that I was here, I enjoyed it. So it's always come back. Sometimes like meet the fans, and obviously the fans, they obviously know who I am, and obviously I'm sure a lot of these fans are going to be out here today. I think the Bills had a game today, so
yeah.
I think they strategically extended the game.
Trying to get
some of the fans can come out and watch the game.
Absolutely. Obviously, just saying, we chose this celebrity softball game over Caleb Williams and Josh Allen, just to let you know. That's how important this game was to us. But, obviously, with the NFL, looking at flag football as an Olympics, with the Olympics coming up, how do you feel about the flag football being in the Olympics?
I mean, they got breakdancing in the Olympics. So I'm sure it's a lot better than what breakdancing is going to be doing. So, yeah. So, I mean, it gives a lot of people opportunity to play on a big stage, represent the country. And, I wish they had this around when I was playing. I would have tried to compete.
I know that's right. And T, not to keep you too long, but, I do faith in sports. And just want to ask you, what role has your faith played in your career and just who you are as a man today?
Well, I think it's I think people that know me, they understand, and I've been not anyone that's been able to stand in front of God and what He's done for me in my life. And honestly, like I said, if it wouldn't have been for the faith, obviously that my grandmother kind of instilled in me, just going to church in the South and understanding, how good God is and how He can be through good, bad, and the ugly. No matter what, you give Him praise and the glory.
Absolutely. And of course, I got to ask you, red, we got blue. You got the blue on today. You and John Wallace got the blue on today. What's it going to take for blue to get it done today?
More runs than the red.
More runs than the red. Peace and blessings, my brother. Thank you, man.
All right. Excellent interview there, J-GILLZ, with Hall of Famer, Terrell Owens. I'm glad that you got his name right.
Hall of Famer, Terrell Owens. And that's how we're going to go. And you know what? We got to shout it out because I do believe the red team did they outdid the blue team. So, they was on the losing side. But we got to give credit is due. And, definitely shout out to the Hall of Famer, Terrell Owens, who, this is like you say, we telling you what we know, not what we heard. And when I tell you, a lot behind the scenes, a lot of the people was complaining about T.O. I'm gonna just tell you, diva. But definitely live up to his name. Great dude, and I'm sure we'll have him on the show again sometime Super Bowl time.
Absolutely. We're gonna go right into another Hall of Famer. Boy, you were on the road with Hall of Famers out there. We're going to go with Buffalo. This time, the local guy, the Buffalo Bills Hall of Famer, Andre Reed. Remember, these interviews are brought to you by Good Life Collective, 155 Monroe Avenue, Rochester, New York, 585-360-2041. Open 7 days a week. 7 days a week. The New York State licensed dispensary is now open with legal weed. And you can go to goodlifeweed.com, goodlifeweed.com to learn more about this company. They have a location out in Oregon. You have an African-American gentleman that's running this location here in Rochester, New York. Shout out to him. Keep up the great work that you're doing there. Good Life Collective, 155 Monroe Avenue. And now let's hear what Andre Reed has to say.
It's your boy J-GILLZ here with Bills legend Andre Reed. How you feeling, Andre?
I'm feeling good, man. Anytime you're standing up straight, it's a good day.
Absolutely, man. Obviously, it's a little conflicting for you. We got the Bills in Orchard Park today. You got you right here in Rochester.
Yeah, it was we couldn't make it work. Just got in last night, and I'll be there for the opener. I'll be there for the opener.
So what are your expectations for the Bills this season?
You know what? That's a good question. My expectations every year, they gonna win the division and go to the Super Bowl. That's it. That's it.
as they should.
It's not like they're Super Bowl or bust or whatever, but the past 5 years have been really close, and now you got to find a way to get over the hump and get to the game. You're not going to win it unless you get to it. So,
Trying to get there.
Yeah.
What's your feelings and thoughts just, after an illustrious career in Buffalo, being right here back in Rochester, New York?
Yeah.
What does it mean to be back?
Oh, dude, I've been to Rochester. Has always been good to me. Great fan base. A lot of people from Rochester go to the Bills games every year. Got some good friends here I've met over the years. It's great to be back here. I was back here for a Red Wings game a couple years back, throughout the first pitch. So always loved it here in Rochester.
I got to ask you. You know what I mean? You got the red on.
Yeah.
I see fellas with the blue on.
Oh, yeah.
What's it going to take for the red to beat the blue today?
What's it going to take? I don't know. We're just going to be out here having fun, man. We're here to, raise money for the Golisano Children's Hospital and, have the fans have a good time. That's what it's about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You got it.
All right. Very good job. Excellent. Andre Reed is always a great interview. We're always good to see him do on Radio Row. And keep in mind, we'll be back on Radio Row down in the Convention Center in New Orleans, Louisiana in February. So, hey, keep it locked right here. Real Deal Sports Show. We give you the interviews, and of course, we always giving you the inside information in the world of sports. Andre Reed seemed very relaxed, and he said the Bills got to do it, man. They got to get there.
I always love getting takes from former Bills fans, former Bills players, just because, they're going to give it to you real. They've played the game. They understand the game. So the expectations that they have, just supersedes the expectation from a fan's perspective. So talking to the Hall of Famer Andre Reed, him basically saying he expects the Bills to be good this season, that says a lot. And hopefully the Bills can live up to that message.
Absolutely. And we got time for one more. We're gonna get one more in for you from the local, this time local high school star, professional athlete from a pro family here in town, an outstanding family here in Rochester, New York. Jerron Jones. We're gonna have the Jerron Jones interview. Let's hear what Jerron Jones had to say.
It's your boy J-GILLZ on the Beat 105.5. You already know we here with a Rochester local, my guy, Jerron Jones in the building, man. It's great to have you here, man.
Thanks for having me.
Obviously, we followed your illustrious career all over the NFL, and now you're right here in Rochester, New York, supporting the children.
Yes,
and that's
sir.
what supporting the community.
Yes, sir.
And that's what it's about. How does it feel to be here supporting the community?
It's always love. It's always good to be back home supporting it any way I can, whether it's the kids, adults, it don't matter. It's always good to support the city of Rochester.
Absolutely. And then, what does it mean to be back here in Rochester? Just, seeing so many celebrities, so many athletes that came from Rochester. How does that inspire the next generation? You and so many other athletes.
It's heartwarming because, back when I was in high school, they didn't have things like this, because we didn't have that much of an influx of big time athletes. And I'm not speaking bad about the ones that came before us, because, always respect to them. But, it's good to now see that there's more of a density period where it's more athletes going year after year. So, especially in the high school ranks, within football, basketball, lacrosse, hockey, baseball, it's nice to always seeing guys from Rochester, New York going pro.
Thank you, man. And what does it mean just for the community to be back together? Obviously, after such a disgruntled, just upset feeling of a couple weeks ago, the Rochester shooting.
Yeah.
After such a great event that was thrown, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what does it mean just for the community to try and come back together and soothe some of these wounds? How can we do that as a community?
Just continuing to pray and trust in God and always just coming together as a community. Our unity is the strongest thing that nobody can ever break. And so, for us to come together and support one another in a positive light rather than a negative light, it's going to speak volumes. It's going to raise a lot of heads throughout the city. So, we just try to promote as much positivity as we can amongst the negativity that happens, because we can't control that. But what we can do is just learn from it and move on.
Thank you. and obviously, you talk about your faith. What role has your faith played just up until this part and on to the next chapters of your life?
It's actually been a big part. Actually, just a couple weeks ago, I actually got baptized. So, just me growing a relationship with Jesus and actually getting to know him more on a personable level, it has been really heartwarming for me, because I've been through bad times. I've gone through negative and things, that learning lessons and stuff like that. So for him to for me to realize that, all my sins have been forgiven, it makes me go. It gives me the motivation to go out and spread his word and spread his gospel and promote his image in a positive way in all ways and shapes and forms of my life.
Absolutely, man. We're very excited for that. And, I had a chance to interview your brother for the Steelers just 2 seasons ago, I think it was. Yep. So just, blessings to you and your family. Thanks so much, man, for being on the Real Deal Sports Show.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, there you have it. Jerron Jones, local star from Aquinas High School, Rochester, New York, the famous Jones family, Matt Jones, Senior, and Lakeisha. Beautiful, raised some beautiful kids. Beautiful people.
He's on the coaching staff right now, helping out Mo Jackson, calling plays over there for Aquinas. So it's full circle moment for him. Great to have him on the show.
Excellent. All right. I'm glad he's giving back. It sounds like he's over there at the school working with Mo. Beautiful. And look out. We're going to have high school football. We're going to be talking high school football in a couple of weeks as well as all of our NFL action, as we always do here, talking sports of all sorts. And next, what we have, Challenger Community News, Western New York's largest weekly African-American newspaper, thechallengernews.com. Call if you want to advertise, 585-766-3590, or if you want to submit articles or things, editor at thechallengernews.com. Send your articles in free of charge. We'll print those articles. Let people know what's going on in the Rochester marketplace. Matter of fact, this week's edition, the August 15th edition of Challenger Community News, I'm actually on the cover myself with the local legend, Nate Brown Jr., the president of the Rochester Association of Black Journalists, and also Mrs. Elin, let me make sure I have her name correct, Erin Tofu, the CEO of Baldwin Richardson Foods. We're talking about the HBCU tournament, HBCU football game coming up Saturday, September 21st. Get those tickets now. Let's order those tickets for that game. Tickets are moving. They're moving quick. And guess what? A lot of out-of-town people are buying the tickets, Rochester. You might get shut out. Don't get shut out. The time is now. Order those tickets for the game. $25 to get you the tailgate party, the football game, the halftime show. After the game, the fifth quarter, the Battle of the Bands in the fifth quarter, all for $25. And there's a lot of other activities going on throughout the community. The HBCU crawl, as our guest Kelly came on last week and was talking with us a week ago about it. Kelly Briggs, who was on the tournament committee, talked about all the fine activities. Go to the website, learn more about what's going on for that HBCU football classic. Also, learn about the various businesses in the community. Learn about all Mexicans of African descent established in Los Angeles, California in 1781. Did you know there were Mexicans of African descent established in LA in 1781? That's part of our we have Black history every week in Challenger Community News. Not this during Black History Month, it's throughout the year. So that's why not only African American people need to pick this paper up, but if you want to learn something about Black people, pick up Challenger Community News, because our niece Barbara Banks has been doing this since 1980. The paper's been out since 1962. You check out what's going on in the community and around the world. Local, national, international news in the Challenger each week. My dear friend William Cooper, I used to know him when I was at Canisius College. Beyond the Imagination on view at the Birchfield Pennyfield, at the Birchfield Penny Museum. Check it out right next door to Upstate. Check out that exhibit. And last but not least, next Saturday, celebrating 20 years of the Funk Fest. Rick James is on the cover. Hey, I'm on the cover next to Rick James, J-GILLZ. You got to see this week's cover. Rick James looking as fabulous as he's going to ever look on the cover of Challenger Community News. The Funk Fest. Check it out from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. next Sunday afternoon at Martin Luther King Park. And it's highlighted Atlantic Star. Atlantic Star going to be headlining the show. And this is a free show, y'all. Come on out next Saturday, the 24th, Saturday, August 24th for the Funk Fest. Atlantic Star headlining it with a lot of other local and regional groups performing leading up to Atlantic Star. If you're there last weekend, you might have saw Najee for free at the Pine Grill. I know I was there. You go to my Facebook page. I got some Najee for y'all. Because guess what? Najee turned the place out. Woo! Man, he took us from 1984 Man, some of our wedding songs. He played some of our wedding songs of me and Dolores Jackson that played at our wedding. He played some of those during this fantastic, sizzling set that Najee put on at the Pine Grill reunion last Sunday afternoon. So I'm going to have my chair. You know where I'm going to be next Sunday. Check it out, all in Challenger Community News. Pine Grill reunion, great job. The Center of African American Cultural Center in Buffalo, New York. You did a hell of a job, as always, with the 2 weeks, the first 2 weekends of August, the first 2 Sundays in August, Pine Grill reunion. Fabulous job. Najee, he turned it out. This next week, Funk Fest, you know Atlantic Star. You know how they get down. I always confuse them with Midnight Star, but Midnight Star is more my favorite band over Atlantic. But Atlantic Star got so many hits, they can play the whole weekend and still don't cover all of their hit songs that Atlantic Star put out. So check them out next weekend. Challenger Community News. Read it all in the Challenger. TheChallengerNews.com. J-GILLZ. Look like we got somebody else join. We got a lost stranger coming. Hey,
we got the legend in the building. We got the legend back in the building. Fanatic.
What's happening? What's going on, Real Deal Sports family? I missed your J-GILLZ last week. I said, hey, I got to make sure I come through this week, man. So, hey, glad to be with you, man. J-GILLZ out here, the maven of the interviews right now, get any and everybody, man. That's why you tune in to Real Deal Sports Show. Who's getting interviews like this? This is why you tune into the Real Deal Sports Show. And the Radman is hype, looking like it's playing from the Himalayas. He ready to go right now, man. Going to get it in. Oh, yeah. Radio audience. I know you can't see, but he got a floral, but like a little blue and green. Got it all looking clean. Ready for a beautiful day on the Saturday, August 17th, man. Hey, it's going to be a good day. It look like his hip. His shit is all ready to go, man. His body look like it's feeling good. BacSpin on the ones and twos. It's a good day. Glad to be with y'all. A lot going on in the world of sports.
And talking a lot going on, we're gonna go to this interview from Mayor Malik Evans talking about the Baldwin Richardson Foods Frederick Douglass HBCU Football Classic Weekend of Hope. Saturday, September 21st at the Rochester Sports Complex, 460 Oak Street. Let's hear what the mayor of Rochester, New York, Mayor Malik Evans, has to say about this fine event.
All right, we're here with Mayor Evans, Mayor Malik Evans, City of Rochester. What type of financial impact is this going to bring the HBCU Football Classic coming to Rochester?
Well, I think it'll bring a great economic impact because when people are here, because we're doing this entire weekend, they'll come here, they'll spend money, and then they'll get to know Rochester, and they may want to keep coming back. So I'm hoping that it will have a great economic impact, but more than anything else, I think it's going to really expose people to the power of HBCU schools, historically black colleges and universities. So many people have watched these games or have heard the names, and now for them to be able to see these teams play right here in Rochester, that's a big deal for our community.
So in the bands, the musicals.
Oh, well,
The music programs.
Right.
You get to see these young kids, not that much older than them.
That's right. For them to be able to see the battle, for them to see the battle of the bands, to add that element along with the tailgating, that's going to be a great thing for the broader community because it's going to be more than just football. Yes, you'll have the game, but you have all the other ancillary things that go with these great football games, including the battle of the bands. Which I got to tell you, I'm looking forward to the game, but I'm really looking forward to those bands.
Same there. We have the Buffalo Bills camp here.
I just left the camp.
The Jazz Fest. What did that say about Rochester? Where you can have national things. Like
I think it says that we are the third largest city in New York State, and it says that we deserve to have a lot of these big events that bring people together, large and small. But when you do these big classics like this, and this is going to be a big event that we're putting a lot of investment in, I think that it's going to be great in terms of helping to put us on the map, and people from other places are going to be saying, hey, I'm going to Rochester for that classic.
Right, it's something that could make Rochester a destination.
A destination, and we're going to do it year after year. We hope that this is only the first year. We hope to do it again next year and to keep doing it all on into the future.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah, this is his baby, Mayor Malik Evans. Thank you so much for bringing the HBCU Football Classic. That's a great idea. Like Mayor William Johnson brought the Music Fest here back in the late 80s, going into 90s. Late 90s, actually, 90 going into 2000 with the Rochester Music Festival. Now we're coming with and the lead sponsor, Baldwin Richardson Foods Company, Frederick Douglass HBCU Football Classic Weekend of Hope. We're going to have someone from the Baldwin Richardson on in the coming weeks to talk about why they decided to participate with this HBCU Football Classic. Fanatic, what do you think of this event coming to Rochester? First time ever coming to Rochester, New York.
To me, it's a beautiful thing. Lots of folks always want to talk about the aroma of gun smoke. And that happens in Rochester, especially during the summertime. And obviously, I hate what happened to my beloved Maplewood Park. Man, I love that park. Still remember that park. It's a park here in Louisiana that kind of gives me some of those same vibes. So I hate when a negative happens, but I'm glad that we are here, led by you two, especially to uplift the community, to see what's going on and letting everybody know, hey, that yes, there may be some negative parts of the city. Let's talk about the positive. Let's talk about how we really trying to change the city and changing legacies. Like when you talk about Mayor Bill Johnson, that music fest, that was his legacy. And that was going on for so long. Now this gets to be our neighbor, Malik Evans. Let him have a chance to have his baby to leave a legacy. The legacy to me, like I tell our students at LSU, the legacy, when you're really leaving a legacy, is when they tell the story of blank Rochester. In this case, if they tell the story of Rochester, they can't tell the story without you. When you talk about the legacy and the history of Rochester, you cannot tell the story of Rochester without Mayor Bill Johnson. Now Mayor Malik Evans gets his chance.
Absolutely. And then look forward to that fine event. And I can't leave off George Fontenette. Good luck, George Fontenette and your crew. You work so hard on the Clarissa Street reunion every year. That's taking place later today in Rochester, New York. So if you're in the surrounding areas, just like the Pine Grill is to Buffalo, the Clarissa Street reunion is to Rochester, New York. I'm sure they're going to have some fine entertainment down there today. So go on down there to Clarissa Street and check out some of the Black history, the African-American Black history of Rochester, New York later today. And guys, the WNBA is back. Man, Connecticut, man, they let the Suns know, the Dallas Suns, or whoever Dallas was, man, they ran them off the court. I saw some of that last night when I'm coming in from my softball game. Man, they put a beat down on them.
Oh yeah, the WNBA is back. They had the long hiatus thanks to the Olympics, and man, what an Olympic! Shout out to Asia Wilson. My family, we all rock Asia Wilson jerseys. Matter of fact, I got to wear that jersey when I pull up on the show soon with that. So maybe even next week pull up with it. But it is Asia Wilson. That was such a great game. It was cool to see the USA and France in the finals in the men's and women's basketball in particular. Man, it was some really great basketball. Shout out to Diana Taurasi, 1 of 1 with being on the 6 Olympic gold medal teams. USA has won 8 in a row. Man, it is hard to beat a hunted and deliver while being in the final against the team that is hosting the Olympics. Now, we should hopefully be able to return the favor in the next 4 years in 2028 as the Olympics come to our home turf in Los Angeles. So we can't wait. Hey, Radman, J-GILLZ, BacSpin, we got to bring the crew out there. We got to get our media passes. Let's find a way to get out there and cover the Olympics live from their version of Radio Row, man, because that is going to be an amazing, awesome experience. Radman, have you ever covered the Olympics? I know you've done almost everything else. Have you covered the Olympics before?
No, never covered it, but been to one, that 96 Olympics, the historic one in Atlanta, Georgia. Been to that Olympics, had a great time down there at the various events. And there's so many events going on at the same time. Loved the weightlifting, went to the weightlifting, the gymnastics, the track and field. Dominic Dawes was in that one when we were there in 96. And then we also saw Edwin Moses in the 200. And man, to see those track and field stars, man, that's the real deal right there. We were out there at the Olympic Park. That was before the Atlanta Braves moved into that new stadium. And man, it was a beautiful sight to see all of the track and field events that we saw on the 2 to 3 days. They have a morning session, and then they have an afternoon, evening session there, which is really nice the way they have it set up. Always great. I recommend get your tickets now to see the Olympics in LA in 2028. You really should. It's a must see. You got to enjoy yourself. And speaking of a must see, Major League Baseball, you guys see this every time I turn on, I got the ticket, so I get to see all the games. I'm always focusing on the Cincinnati Reds to see this Ellie De La Cruz, 22-year-old young Dominican, 6'5". I ain't never seen a dude this tall, man. Yeah. He looked like a basketball player. Man, that man can hit the ball. He has 59 stolen bases. He's about to have 60 stolen bases real soon. 21 home runs. Man, the guy he gets on. He's still second. He steals third. And he just stole home twice this season. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Ellie De La Cruz. You got to check. And they got a couple other guys that's stealing bases too. Man, the Reds are a stealing machine, man. They used to be a home run hit machine back, the big red machine in the 70s with Joe Morgan. Matter of fact, once he gets this stolen base, which he might have gotten it the last few days, the only other player to get it, the first player to ever do that was Joe Morgan. Yep. 1973, and then Joe Morgan turned around and did it in 75, the year they won the World Series. Joe Morgan and Joe Morgan was a short-statured guy with a lot of. He didn't look like he had that kind of power to hit over 30. He had 30, almost 40 home runs that season. Had over 60 stolen bases. Joe Morgan, who was really the catalyst of the big red machine back in the day with Johnny Bench at catching. They had Tony Perez at first. They had a hell of a line. George Foster in the outfield. They had this tons of power on that Cincinnati Red team that won it 75, 76. After the Oakland A's won it from 72, 73, and 74 with Reggie Jackson and that whole crew of power that they had out there in pitching. Blue Moon Odoms, all those cats. Man, the Oakland A's for 3 years, that was my all-time favorite team. Then my next favorite team this happened to come 2 years, won it 75 and 76. But remember, the Cincinnati Reds got in there. They lost to the Oakland A's in one of those years too. So that's when baseball had power teams. But this Ellie De La Cruz, he's bringing baseball back to the Cincinnati Reds. Your comments, J-GILLZ or Fanatic on the Reds?
I'll let Fanatic go ahead.
Fanatic might have a little trouble with his internet there. That it looked like Baton Rouge got a little power. Maybe it's raining down there in bad tropical storm that messed up the internet down there. It might be a little frozen right there. But either way, the Cincinnati Reds are doing their thing. There's a lot of good baseball being played. Mookie Betts, the best player in baseball, just came back. He came back and hit a home run at his first at bat. I have never seen that done. He's been out 3 months. His first game back against the Milwaukee Brewers, he hits a home run. And you can just see he's the catalyst for the LA Dodgers. If Mookie Betts can stay healthy, good. His daughter helped get it. Nala helped fix his thing was kind of stuck there. So we'll see what's happening there. What's going on with the
Hey, Radney, hold on. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, Nala had to get us right.
Yeah. See,
Nala
you frozen there.
I apologize. Yeah.
Quick comment on Ella De La Cruz.
Yeah, comments is Mookie Betts. Hold on, wait a minute, Rad, man. Mookie Betts is great. Aaron Judge is still the best player in the game, man.
No way. Mookie Betts can play every position, but he don't play every position for the LA Dodgers, man. But pitcher or catcher. He played every other position. That big tall dude can't play every position.
Yeah, he can play. He is singularly holding down. Hold on now. Mookie Betts is playing with an all-star loaded team. Not to take anything away from him, because Mookie Betts to me is the second best player. But shoot, you talk about the best player who's literally single-handedly, because we know if it's summertime, Giancarlo, he got a hamstring. He got a calf. He got a quad. Derek Jeter fleeced the Yankees, and that was not good at all that he would do our Yankees like that. Aaron Judge is single-handedly holding down the Yankees. Aaron Judge to me is the best player. He will be the MVP in the AL. Hey, he's a bad man. Now, hey, you talk about must-see TV. It is Ellie De La Cruz, but you got to watch my man last night, Paul Skeens. Don't be watching him because of who he's with. Watch him because of how great he is. He finally snapped a 4-game winless streak. He started the All-Star game, a lock for Rookie of the Year, 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, another day at the office. Paul Skeens to watch, former LSU Tiger, and he'll going back real quick, must-see TV for the Olympics in LA 2028. That's going to be the Caitlin Clark playing Robin to my girl Angel Reese, because she came back and the sky might have got smacked. But guess what Angel Reese did? The sun comes up, the sun goes down, Angel Reese get a double-double. We can't wait. Let's go, Tigers.
But we got to give Caitlin her credit where it's due, Fanatic. 29, you know what I mean? Put a beat down on the Mercury, the same Mercury, and just put a beat down on the sky. So this Rookie of the Year race is heating up. It's going to be a great race down the stretch. I got my calendars marked. August 30th is going down in Chicago.
It's going down. Hey, J-GILLZ, take a flight. We might have to go out there, man.
Might as well. We might have to go. We might have to go cover the game.
Chicago
Real Deal
undefeated
Sports
in the summer.
Let's do it.
Let's get it.
All right, gentlemen, that's how we do it. I know BacSpin ready to come on in and join us here to wrap up. As his team, the Cowboys, out in Thousand Oaks, California, trying to get themselves together and see who they're going to pay.
The team who does nothing.
the team who doesn't. But hey, real quick, BacSpin.
That's
Before
who
we
we
go there
are.
fully, I just want to make sure. Hey, Radney, you saw your favorite player, Dawson Knox. Your man already on the shop, man. Oh, here he goes. My man never started in college, got a job, got the bag. Hey, thank goodness for Dalton and Kincaid. J-GILLZ and I will be
never started. He was a backup. He was a backup.
Yeah, I know, never
man,
started.
They got money to burn, man. I wish Jerry had that mentality.
Yeah, he got $10 million. He gotta keep it.
CeeDee Lamb would be in the preseason right now if Jerry had the Pagulas mentality, man. I mean, come on, man.
We pay the wrong people, and you guys don't pay the right people.
Don't pay the right people. Don't pay nobody.
It's like Ralph Wilson that came and became reincarnated down
Ralph
with
Wilson's paying everybody.
Right.
Steven Ross breaking out the Brinks trucks.
You ain't even got to start. You gonna get a raise. Good job.
Yeah, everybody getting a raise.
Good job.
Right, you ain't got to start to get paid. Oh my goodness.
I don't get it, man. But I swear, I wish Jerry had that mentality. I'm sure we're gonna get a deal done with CeeDee Lamb soon. I mean, it just makes sense. I think Jerry just wants to see what all the other receivers was gonna get, and then try to negotiate from that platform. And
you look at his numbers, BacSpin. His numbers almost identical to the Minnesota wide receiver that just got paid.
I mean, if you look at the AP rankings, he's like the #1 receiver coming off the board. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand what the holdup is. I mean, we haven't had a guy like this, I want to say, since Michael Irvin. You know what I mean? I know we had Dez Bryant, but he had his issues as well. So I think CeeDee Lamb will be a better receiver than Dez Bryant was. But I dare I compare him to Michael Irvin so soon. But if he keeps putting up numbers like he did last season, then yeah, he's on track for to be that guy wearing 88.
He'll be he's the next playmaker. Got a chance to make that name for himself. So we'll see as the preseason continues, as the games continue to play.
I want to say though, I see y'all just ducked right past that text that I shot in the group chat the other day. I'm a fantasy football kind of guy, man. And I wanted to get a little fantasy football with my guys on the Real Deal Sports Show. Nobody responded to that text. I'm thinking that they all running scared. I mean, if you're scared, just say you're scared.
J-GILLZ is in it to win it. I ain't get a chance to respond yet, but you done brought it to the air now. I'm gonna have to go in the league.
I was like, nobody want to say nothing now. Everybody got quiet.
I'm in it this time, and you already know I'm picking #1.
Okay. I'll get it started. We all got Yahoo. Is that correct? We all got Yahoo.
Oh yeah.
I ain't play Yahoo in a minute, but hey, it's the perfect time to come back and let me win it. So let's get it. Put me in, coach. I ain't scared.
See that Rock City? I gotta put him on the spot for him to say. Let's get it. See who's really got the real deal when it comes to fantasy football. I'm looking forward to it, fellas. I love this time of year. Love football season. I'm happy it's back for the few months that we'll have it again, and it's a great time to be alive.
Absolutely.
You ain't never lied. What a time. Beautiful time. Hey, that fantasy football, J-GILLZ, now we're gonna talk about it. We're going to get ready to get folks ready for their drafts. Let's get it. We're going to get ready to have our draft. Let our teams know what it is. We ready.
No doubt. I'll send out a date to see if it's good for everybody so we can get our draft started.
Sounds like a plan. And we're going to do the point spreads and everything. I'm the spread man. I love the spreads and everything. I'll try this fantasy football with y'all for sure. But please subscribe to the show on YouTube, Facebook. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube. Hey, we need you to subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube, everybody. And we'll be back next week talking more sports of all sorts. Remember, we're not talking about what we heard. We talking about what we know.
That's a fact. Real Deal Sports Show, the Radman, the Fanatic J-GILLZ. We'll check in with y'all again next week. We gonna get this draft started probably in a couple weeks. I'll give y'all some time to, check out your cheat sheets and all of that good stuff. Y'all stay locked in. On the flip side, we got the Back in Time Mix Show right here on the Beat 105.5.